Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Central. Now, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has been inaugurated as President of Somalia. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud was elected last week Sunday in an indirect vote that ran over a year late, a process mired in political infighting that turned violent at times and sowed division in the fragile central government. The 67-year-old Mohammed, former Somalian president from 2012 to 2017, polled 214 votes to defeat Mohamed Farmajo, who garnered 110 votes.
Expectations are high in Somalia as to what measures the new president will apply to restore normalcy in the troubled country. Now, joining us to discuss the plans of the new government is Mohamed Hassan. He is the former chairman, Somalia Election Commission. Good morning, Mr. Hassan. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Of course, finally, the elections have been conducted and the winner has been inaugurated just yesterday. Can you walk us through the entire process of the election and finally the inauguration?
Really, the 2 years election process created more dishonesty and more fragmented between Somali people and created an unassurity about the safety and security of the country. Unfortunately, on 15th of this month, the 329 member of the parliament of the upper house and house of the people conducted the election of the president. So this incident created a new hope to Somali people. They realized that they have passed the possibility of the civil war, the possibility of uncertainty of the future of the government. So when you see how Somali people are just thinking about and changing their mind into the worst and dishonesty to the hopeful and honesty. So the election of the president created some hope, but there is more things to do in this coming 4 years.
All right, Hassan, speaking of the things to do in this coming 4 years, the return of Mohammed to power has been described as a positive development for a potential normalization process between Mogadishu and Jerusalem. I mean, reports have it that he did secretly meet with the then Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you share same sentiments in this regard?
Really, the Somali people are believing the former president has did a lot of things in Somali content, especially the state building, whether they're building the good governance and fighting of the corruption and army, building the army. And so those sectors was developed well. So the whole Somali people are expecting this development to be continued. The issue of the meeting of Prime Minister of Israel, that the Prime Minister of Israel, we are not sure when that meeting was happened during the former time of this current president. But there is a lot of questions in Somali people, and as you know, Somali society has not asked it and themselves and what's right and what's wrong, and is there any wrongful if they have any relationship to Israel, or is there any other issue? So that issue it is something interesting when you are hearing the outside. What the inside, there is a lot of question about their current situation.
All right. The outgoing president, Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo, has, of course, urged Somalis to work with the new president. Of course, he has also promised to focus on security, national reconciliation, debt relief during his first 100 days in office. It's a very popular promise by a lot of African leaders, about the first 100 days in office and all of that. And of course, you remember Somalia is still dealing with a terrorist issue with the Al-Shabaab, Al-Mujahideen. But generally, how much support do you see him getting from the citizens as he, of course, takes on this challenge?
The former era of this current president was really known more corruption and more poor governance system. So the Somali society is still experiencing what was happening between 2012 and 2017. So they are calling this new president again to not redo again what has passed done. So the fighting for corruption is the main agenda of this new presidency. If he fight or maybe he use the same tactic that the President Farmajo has done in the past 4 years for fighting of corruption, could give him some reputation of his administration again. If he fail, still the Somali people are not sure what they are going and how they can accept it. The Somali society has less support to this new president because of that. Is all the era mistakes. So still they are experiencing that issue. That's why the Ushered or the former president Farmajo has called Somali citizens to support the new president to achieve his goals and move the country forward.
Okay, let's talk about the mood in Somalia concerning the elections. Take us through what Somalis are feeling like. How is the mood over there? And what is the one thing you should or you can't say that the rest of Africa needs to have learned from the Somalia elections?
The Somali people are really feeling very good positive because they already realize it. There is a hand of a power in peacefully. In that stage, it's giving Somali people a hope that the administration can go and that the election process can happen every 4 years. And the other lesson, which really is important right now, in Africa also can take lesson in Somalia election. Well, politically, and the problem of the Somali nation, it seems close or it's similar. So the judging power or they stay the office in long time with irregularities or maybe what we can call the hacked election, something like that. It's creating dishonesty to the society. So African nations can learn this Somali election for how every 4 years or every 5 years can conduct a free and fair election. And maybe the new administration can change the old one. Maybe the new administration can be better, the old one. Maybe the people can realize the old one is better. How is right now the Somali people are judging what was happening in the last 10 years. So there's a good lesson in all Africa. You can see when we are talking, especially in Horn of Africa, there is Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya. All the presidents of these countries stayed the power more than 8 or 10 years, almost 10 years or more. So also they can take the lessons for this issue because changing the power is the only hope that the Africa can give a democracy and also can build a trusteeship for the governance system of African countries. That's what I can say.
All right, Mr. Hassan, thank you so much for your time this morning and for, of course, speaking with us. We wish the people of Somalia a very, very interesting time with the new president and looking forward to speaking with you again also.